Morning, lovelies. It's Friday, and we are gonna fuck with our tarot cards here. So, because as you can see, these are nice, pretty cards. I'm gonna shuffle a little differently than how I normally would. Those who watch over me in perfect love and perfect trust, grant me wisdom so I may spread light. Do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love and the will. There is no law, so beyond do what thou wilt. Thou hast no right to do thy will. It's a good time to be thinking about your questions as you shuffle. Don't worry, we're gonna go inside because there's noise. But we're just gonna finish the shuffle first. Put the deck together right here. From right to left. Split the deck to the left hand and collect on the left. We'll do the spread inside. Alright. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. And of course they started the jackhammering right when I decided to start that video. But we shuffled the cards in that special way. There are many ways you can shuffle the deck, obviously. So you don't have to just do the poker shuffle. You could just lay them out as I did if you don't want to ruin your cards. As you can see, my cards are very, very fancy, so I don't want to do that. Deck shuffled, alright, and we're just going to start. I'm thinking, make it an easy one. We'll do what I call the daily spread. This is a 3-card spread that I add 3 more cards to, depending on how the reading goes. So it starts off backwards a little bit. Put the cards from right to left instead of left to right. And the first card is the card of the day. I'll put that down right here. The second card is the task of the day. This is what needs to be completed. And the third card is the chance of the day. If the task is completed, the chance is more likely to happen. Alright, let's check it out. Tarot card of the day. Boop, boop, boop. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is it in reverse. This is the card upright. As you can see, it is a fire of fire. So fire of fire. Now, I know some of you are used to the king being a fire, but in this deck, the knights are kind of the kings, in a sense. This follows an older occultic mentality, a lodge type symbology. Fire of fire is a restlessness. You know, the Knight of Wands, being a knight, he's a traveler. He's a moving, and he's somebody who would rather make the sale than keep the shop, if you know what I'm saying. In the reverse, this energy is blocked somehow. Also, it's a court card. Now, my rule of thumb is, if the first 3 cards are court cards, then it has something to do with you. Because the court cards can represent you, can represent another person, an event, or an organization. So you gotta have some sort of rule factor. And what's worked for me is the first 3 cards as court cards. That's me. That's my energy. And anything else past that, it's an energy or a group or a person outside of myself. So this energy is blocked. This, which is not a bad thing, I don't think. Being a card of the day, this is a universal card, so it doesn't just have to deal with me. I did this spread with the intention of the day. Therefore, this can be applied to you as well. The energy of the Knight of Wands is blocked. As a fire, it is a frustrated card already. So being blocked could mean that there's a little bit of lethargia going on. It could mean that the bit of spark that we normally would feel in our personal selves, our get up and go, our motivation, is kind of not there. You know, if you got work today, you probably are dreading going into work. You probably just want to be lazy today. And that's okay. That's just how things are. It's not a bad thing. There really are no bad cards. I was once told that there's no such thing as a bad situation, just a bad attitude. And we can have a bad attitude today if we want, or we could see this as we just need to harness our energy more. We need to focus it more. And we could take that lesson from this card. So, dealing with the frustrated energy that is blocked, this lethargic kind of movement, this blocked movement in ourselves, we're going to go on to the task of the day. The task of the day is boop boop. It is the 4 of Swords in reverse, another reverse card. Which this is Libra and Jupiter, also called in this deck Truce. This is the deck. This is the card upright, and this is it in reverse. Now, Truce in reverse. Truce, 4 of Swords, normally means rest. So here we have a theme already going here. There's this lethargic feeling, but there's no rest today. The task of the day is in fact to not rest. It is the opposite. It is to get up and go. We have to drag ourselves on today. Even though we don't want to, even though we might not have the energy for it, we're going to have to just push ourselves through. And there is no truce with that, if you will. Instead, it's going to cause us some tension already. So today is already gearing up to be just one of those days, so let's check out the chance. Okay, if we can deal with the fact that our luster, our spark is blocked, our motivating go-get-em energy is not really there today, then we're going to see the chance of the day if we can just carry on with that, which is boop boop. It is the 5 of Swords. Now, not great. 5s normally have to deal with challenges. Swords definitely deal with anxieties and things of that nature. But it is also in reverse. Here's it in reverse. Now the card calls this deck calls it defeat in the upright, but it's in reverse. Reverse doesn't always mean the opposite. In fact, it mainly means blocked. That's how I see reverse cards, is the energy is blocked. In this type of reading though, considering the pattern already, I consider it to mean the opposite. So it is not defeat, it is victory. In fact, in the upright we have the inverted pentagram, which usually means everything's being brought downwards. But in the upright, which is its reverse, everything's being brought up. So if we can make it through our own frustrated motivation and get through the fact that there's no truce with this, that we just gotta move ourselves along, keep ourselves with our responsibilities, then we will find victory here. And it will be in a weird way, because this is a sword card, so it's going to be a mental thing. And we're going to find strength in our mental realms here. Fives have to deal with the Hierophant. The Hierophant has everything to do with tradition and traditional roles, and the roles we are placed in, not by ourselves, but by our needs in society. So, it is an imposed role, but we're going to find victory in it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a great thing. It's not something that we as an individual society, we were very focused on the individual well-being, the individual goals of the person. It can be a very selfish kind of mentality. The strength that we're going to find here is probably going to be in community. Fives have a lot to do with community. That's why they often represent challenges. However, if we take the whole reading at hand here, today's energy is frustrated. Just not feeling it, lethargic. The task is to get through that because there's no truce in it. And the chance is that we'll find victory in our mental realm, our communicative realm, surrounding society, community, and the roles placed on us by said society. How can we take this then? What can we do to bring this? Simplify it. Simplify it. With this lethargic energy, we're just going to have to push through today. If we push through today, we're going to find a victory. And that victory is probably going to be given to us by another person. It's probably going to be recognized by somebody else. And that's going to work in our favor. Now, this is a confusing kind of little spread. So we're going to do the 3 more cards. What I like to do to explain these cards is I'll pull out 2 cards. One is what not to focus on today, and the other is what to focus on today. The 3rd card would be advice or the next move, if you will. So, what not to focus on today. We have the Hermit in reverse. This is the Trump of Virgo. This is it in the upright. A lot of reverse cards today. A lot of reverse cards can just mean that there's a lot of things that we might need to go back on in ourselves. But there's a lot of things we need to reflect on that we're just like missing the mark on. But what not to do today, Virgo is a very much a kind of a self-absorbed card, but not in a bad sense always. It's more like a self-disciplinary. Someone, the taskmaster is kind of like the Virgo thing going on. But here, in the reverse, it's saying like not to go focusing in on yourself, because the Hermit is a solitary card. It's very much doing its own thing. But in the reverse, we obviously are being plunged into, socializing, being in work when we don't want to be at work, going to an event with family that we don't want to go to. But it's saying not to focus on your personal needs or individual solitary needs. Let's see why, because we should focus on boop, boop, boop. We've been talking about the Hierophant, and boom, boom, there he is, Hierophant. This is the Trump of Taurus. The Hierophant is falling in line with tradition, but it's an initiation into an organization, which means you got to play the game. You got to play the game to get initiated. You got to do the rules. You got to play by someone else's set of policies and whatnot. We need to focus on getting into this organization today. Let's see why. With our advice card, it's also the next move. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, okay. And the whole reason for all of this is because of, in the upright, 9 of Pentacles. Good card, lucky card. 9 of Pentacles, as you can see here, is gain. We have a lot to gain today. 9 of Discs is, looks like it is Virgo in Venus. Or Venus and Virgo. The planet would go into the constellation, not the constellation into the planet. But the gain here. So 9 of discs is a gain, a ability to be able to have the affluency to, enjoy your well-deserved riches, your well-deserved resources, or it's like a vacation. So we see a light at the end of this tunnel. Today's frustrated energy, if we could push through it, because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, it's just something we gotta do. We will find, a strength. We will find a recognition, if you will. What we shouldn't focus on is our solitary needs, our wanting to be our own, single purpose kind of mentality that we would normally have. We should not focus on that. We shouldn't focus on our own wants and needs. We should focus on falling in line with our tradition, with the roles placed on us, the responsibilities that we have, that we may not want to, we not always like, but it's what we got. And it's what we need to deal with to grow. And if we do this, we'll have gain. The 9 of Pentacles is being able to spend the money that you rightfully earned. And what's great about the 9, in relation to the Hermit, who is a number 9 card, is we get to go. If we ignore our selfish wants, because right now the Hermit in this setting is selfish. That's why it's being blocked. If we ignore our selfishness and we fall in line to our duties and responsibilities, we will be able to play out our own affluent, selfish, solitary needs, be they selfish or not. Because 9 is earning it. That's the difference between this card and some of the other cards, like the 6 of Pentacles, which is like a community charity thing going on. Also kind of an unbalanced relation. But this is not. This is balanced in the fact that you worked for this, and so now you get to enjoy the repercussions of it, the consequences of it, the rewards of it, if you will. I don't know if I explained it so good. I'm new to this deck. This deck is beautiful, by the way. It is the, as you can see here, the Arcana Isis Sakara. And I love the symbolism of this deck. So it's so beautiful. You guys should check this out. So I noticed that with this deck, it kind of has this color thing going on. All of the minor arcana are like light in color, very light in color. But you get to the major arcana and you get, look at the color. And the only card that is fully colored is the universe card, or the world card, if you will. It's gorgeous. I love it. And the symbolism on this is on point. And you could tell that they are influenced by Crowley's Thoth tarot. What with the the occult, the large themes of having the knight be in the place of the king, and whatnot. But oh, and some things are switched around, like they are in the Thoth deck. Strength is 11 instead of 8, like in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And 11, which is normally Justice, is now in where Strength is. And Strength is Lust, of course. Go figure. So Crowley. It's a fun deck. I like it. So got a little sidetracked there. Sorry. This is throwing it off. I mean, look, I'm already enacting the energies here, aren't I? A little bit of frustration because got this jackhammering going on over there, and I feel lethargic myself today. I was up all night working on my new book coming out soon. You guys gonna like it? And I just know that I wanted to do this, and I felt that it was something that needed to be done. Maybe someone needs to hear this. So today, push through your frustration. Ignore your usual need to satisfy your own personal cravings or whatnot, and just fall in line with things. Sometimes it's okay to be moved and motivated and pushed in the way of the roles that were given to you, because they're given to you for a reason, and that reason is because these are things that you are abrasive to, and that abrasiveness is not a bad thing. It's just showing a lot of areas that you might need to grow in. It's just, you got to do what you got to do kind of a thing. That's how the Hierophant works. And if you want to have that gain of the 9 of coins, then you need to fall in line with the Hierophant and his policies and his ways. There is a bit of deception in the Hierophant. It's not a bad deception. I mean, the Hierophant is also a spiritual leader, a leader of a community. And he's a leader because he knows what's going on. He knows what roles are going to set you up for what you ultimately want. Yeah, you may want to, not go into work today. Yeah, you may not want to take any responsibilities today. But you know what? That's not going to get you where you want to be. Where you want to be is over here. Being able to have fun, being able to do what you want, being able to, utilize your hard-earned time and money towards, relaxing and having a good time. In order to relax and have a good time, you gotta work. Britney Spears. Okay. So, that's today's reading. I could just tell you the theme here is to push through the lethargicness, to push through the urge to just not want to do your responsibilities. And if you do so, you will be wonderfully rewarded. Something to look forward to. Light at the end of the tunnel. Let's look at our shadow card. The shadow card is the card at the bottom of the deck after the spread has been cast. It is essentially called the shadow card because it is something that we may not want to see. But it's definitely going to be a read on us. Oh, not so bad. The shadow card is boop boop boop. The star in reverse. The star is the trump of Aquarius. So the star symbolizes us in total, in the upright, us in our total, wonderful acceptance of ourselves and our roles and things, and we're just one with everything. We're so okay with it that we're even naked, which is symbolizing our freedom, and we give as we get, kind of a thing. But in the reverse, it's we may not be feeling that today. And so that's a reflection on ourselves. That's what the shadow card is saying. The shadow card is saying, okay, yeah, you have this frustration. Yeah, you want this, not do your responsibilities today, but that's because you're not fully connected. You're not getting it. You're not seeing the communal part of this. Aquarius is very much a worldly card. A worldly sign, and very much wants to open communication and be integrated. But if we're not there, if we're not accepting of all of the things we don't want to do, then we're not going to be able to get the things we do want. You understand? This is a give and take. Everything in this life, and I learned this from magic, there's nothing free in this world. Absolutely nothing. Even with magic, magic costs something. If it's not your money, it's your time or your patience. Everything costs something. Just like Britney Spears says. You want a Maserati? You better work. Hopefully this hasn't been a bummer of a reading. It's really not. It's just like one of those, it is what it is kind of things. I did mention my book coming out is The Magic of Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. And it is a complete overview and guide to the occult elements, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, and how they are applied in occultic practice. It is a beginner book. It is aimed at novice spellcasters, so if you want to get started, in the spellcasting, genres, definitely keep an eye out for my book. I did release a free version. A complete version is going to be published probably through Amazon. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm also gearing up, and almost done with, a new series of books. It's going to be a mini spell book series. It's starting off with protection. So it's the Come At Me Bro spell book. It's the 10 of the best spells for protection. And it's going to continue on that way. We'll have the Sit and Pretty spell book, which will be 10 of the best attraction and beauty spell, if you will. And it's going to be glamours, as they're called. As many of you may know from reading my blog posts and whatnot, protection is one of my favorite magics. And, love, lust, glamours, and enamours happen to be my specialty, if you haven't noticed. Anyways, I will, of course, announce those books when they are ready. You can still get the free version by signing up for my newsletter. I will post a link to it. Signing up, you will be able to get news and updates about upcoming promotions and also new releases of the mini spellbooks coming out. So, I have a new site also for tarot readings. Boo, 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 boo. We can start booking tarot readings with me again. I'm taking on new clients, so I have a special. New clients, 20% off, and you get a $5 credit towards your next reading. And this is transferable. You can give it to a friend or family. They just got to present the coupon. So, I'll be generating those shortly. Probably this weekend, everything will be squared away, and you'll have more information then. So, take a look at the, the post that this comes in, and you will see the URL for the sign up for the free version of my Elemental spellbook, or Elemental magic book. And then with that sign up, you will get an update on my mini spellbook series coming up soon. So, exciting things. Anyways, again, I hope it wasn't too much of a bummer of a reading today. It's really not a bummer. You just gotta buck up, kiddo. As always, lovelies, be well, be safe, and may the wheel turn in your favor.